Good morning, English speakers. How you doing? Today we're going to talk about greetings. I got a question from one of you asking, what's the difference between hello, hi, and hey? Which one is the most natural greeting, and when do you use each of these different ones? Let's answer that first question. Which of these three is the most natural? Let's say if you're talking to a friend. Well, any one of them could be the most natural. It depends on a whole range of factors. You see, one of the really cool things about the English language is that it is an international language in every sense of that term. For most people, when they hear the term international language, the first thing that comes to mind is ideas of colonization and all the horrible things that are associated with that. And we can agree that colonization did play a significant role in making English such a commonly spoken language all over the world. But there's more to it than just that. See, English from its very conception has always been a mongrel of a language. Not just a mongrel, but a mutating mongrel of a language. It borrows its script or alphabet, its grammar, its vocabulary, its pronunciation even, from a range of different languages, from Latin, French, German, and even other Asian languages. And on top of that, because English is spoken in such a wide variety of locations around the world, it's also been influenced by the cultures and the local languages of all those different locations. That's why we have different accents, we've got different pronunciations of the same words, we've got different idiomatic expressions, different figures of speech, different ways in which people express the same ideas. Add to that the cultures in all of these different locations have evolved differently over time, and that means that their respective forms of English have also evolved differently over time. And there's this one other really interesting phenomenon that we in our generation are really fortunate to witness. No other generation before us has seen what we're experiencing right now. Our world is better connected now than it ever was before through the internet and much more affordable air travel. So that means that all of these different forms of English that exist across the world are influencing each other, and we've now got all of these new hybrid forms of English. So why am I saying all of this? Here's my point. If you hear an expression commonly used by a sizable majority, then chances are that that expression is correct. It is natural and it is standard in its respective context. So even if it doesn't appear in a textbook, that doesn't mean that it's incorrect or wrong or unnatural or non-standard. For those of you planning to take English proficiency tests, be warned, you're going to be tested on what's a lot closer to textbook English. If you use certain obscure colloquial expressions, you're probably going to get marked down for that. So let's relate all of this back to what we started with, and that is greetings. So here's the general idea as to how these three are different. Hello is your most standard greeting. It's going to be appropriate most of the time, and you're very rarely going to offend someone by greeting them with hello. Hi is less formal. You want to use this when you have a much better rapport with the person you're speaking to and in less formal settings. Hey is the least formal. You want to have a very good rapport with the person you're speaking to, and it needs to be in a fairly casual setting. That's generally the difference between these three. It's not so much a strict rule as to how you use them. In the most formal settings, I like to use time-specific greetings, which you often hear in my videos. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. You can use these even when you have a very informal relationship with the person you're speaking to, and it's still going to be appropriate. People are rarely going to get offended if you give them a nice, hearty, genuine, sincere, time-specific greeting. But that doesn't mean that these are the only ways to greet somebody correctly. There are an infinite number of natural greetings which can all be appropriate if used in the correct context. For example, in the movie Rush Hour, Jackie Chan's character sees Chris Tucker's character greet somebody with "What up, my nigga?" or "What's up, my nigga?" And then Jackie Chan's character proceeds to use that same greeting with another person. And he used it in the wrong context. He didn't have the same kind of rapport, he didn't have the same kind of relationship with the other person, and he ended up offending that other person by using the exact same greeting that Chris Tucker used. When Chris Tucker used it, it was fine. Nobody got offended. So when you come across a non-textbook expression, don't just conclude that it's either correct or incorrect just because of who says it. You need to really be asking yourself, in what context is this expression appropriate? And when you understand context, that's going to help you absorb new phrases and be able to use them correctly, meaning in the correct context. And you're going to be able to form your own unique way of expressing your ideas and thoughts. There are so many non-textbook greetings out there, so I'm not going to list every single one, but I still would like all of us to learn together. So write in the comments below any non-standard greetings that you know or use, and also write down the context in which you use them. If you're not sure about the context, that's completely fine. You can still write the expression anyway and just ask about the context. And as always, I'll do my best to reply to every single comment.